your current single, Happy Does, I am an optimistic person, right? But in 2020, last year, it was really hard to be optimistic. There was so much negativity, challenges like we've never seen before. I can only imagine how cool it would be to have something that you've created that lifts people up in a year like we've had here in the United States and across the world.
Well, it is I've always said it was a blessing to be creative, but when you have a song that you can give to the universe in a time where everybody is living in an anxiety fit, it seems like a little bit more of a blessing. But Happy Does is a song for me that was needed, from my own life, and because I struggle with living in the moment, and that's what that song preaches. But yeah, I mean, like last year, and even coming into this year, look at the way we're doing this interview. I'd much rather be sitting on, in Tampa with everybody together. The energy is just great, but. Last year was especially for us. It was a weird way to create. It was an odd way to go through the year, knowing that you're supposed to be on stage, giving these songs to the universe and mass quantities. And I don't know. It was just it was a true void for those of us that have made their living on the road for so many years. It was just really strange.
How did you deal with it? Because I'm sure as somebody who is always touring, you kind of get into that mode where you feed off the energy of the fans in a massive arena or a stadium, and then all of a sudden it's just gone, much like a lot of things. We didn't have sports for a couple months, and it was like a lot of people struggle with it mentally. Did you use it as a creative outlet? What did you do to kind of make it through this past year?
Well, it was a struggle at first. We were in rehearsals. We were just, I would say, 8 weeks from going out on the road, and we were in rehearsals. Like this time last year, when the Super Bowl was in Miami, I did Radio Row down there, and then I went home that next week and started rehearsing with all the band and crew, and we were getting ready to go. And then the rug got pulled out from underneath us. So it was like, where did everybody go? It was really a strange reality. But I, to be honest with you, there was a void, and there still is. But I think now that I was more worried about everyone else. Like I was worried about myself and not being able to be up on stage, and where's the floor to this? How bad is it going to be? But I had a lot of anxiety for, I have 120 employees, so I was really, really worried about them. But it was, I didn't do well with it at first, to be honest with you, Dan.
Music superstar Kenny Chesney joining us here on the Super Bowl Drive on Super Bowl 55 Radio. Kenny, your station here, you're a great friend of SiriusXM, No Shoes Radio, your channel is incredible. Like, if I ever have like a barbecue and I have people over, which I can't wait to get back to that, by the way. Like, if you put on certain channels, like it's all hip hop or it's all 90s or it's all one genre, the thing I love about your channel, it has something for everybody, and it's constantly changing. There's some reggae, there's some rock, there's your music, you explain some behind it. When I get asked what kind of music do you like, I'm like, I like a little bit of everything, and I absolutely love that about your channel. Was there any pushback to that? Like, did anybody say, hey, like, it's got to be all country, because people think of Kenny Chesney, they think of country. How are you able to kind of facilitate that?
Well, there was I wouldn't say pushback, but they came to us, asking if I wanted my channel, and I went, yes, great, I would love it. But I said I would really want this channel to be everything I listen to. I want it to reflect me. And that's what I listen to when I'm working out, or I have a playlist for that. I have a playlist that I listen to on my boat. Or if I'm trying to get pumped up in my bus before a show, I've got another playlist. I've consumed so much music in my life, and it's had a huge impact on my life, and made a lot of different genres, and a lot of different artists have put me on a path that I'm on now. And I wanted my radio station, No Shoes Radio, to reflect that. And so when I explained it to them in that sense, they understood, and there was really no pushback. I just think that once they came out to the shows and saw that my audience is as eclectic as the radio station is, then they got it. So I appreciate you saying that, because there is, like, music for me is not just one genre. That's like eating one flavor of ice cream your whole life, like I can't do that.
Right. And I don't think a lot of people do. I think people have different moods they get in, but I do love, I think we have very similar tastes, which is pretty cool. I can say that I enjoy most of the songs that come on your station. And it's really cool what you guys are doing this week specifically with the Super Bowl. You guys are doing a takeover right here on Super Bowl 55 Radio with a bunch of your friends, No Shoes Radio special. You got DJ sessions from Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Brett Favre, Aaron Andrews, just to name a few. They're going to have their Poets and Pirates DJ sessions. Do you have a group text of all these celebrities like that? Because that to me would be the coolest thing in the world. The people that you know in the sports world, is there a group text that goes around? Is it just you and Sean Payton trading ID? You suggesting play calls? Hey, Peyton, do you want to tee it up sometime? I'm curious to know what it's like to be on that inner circle with Kenny Chesney.
Well, I wouldn't say that there's a group text, but I've been friends with Sean Payton for a long time, and it's funny you say that about plays, because me and I have a couple of friends of mine. I call them Holt and Hobby and Farmer, and we all know Sean very well. And we went to a game in New Orleans once, and we're all Monday morning quarterbacks, so we're sitting there watching Sean call the plays. And at the time, he had what was it? The kid that played at Miami that also played with Sean. That was he's a big tight end. I forgot his name. I can't think of it to save my life. But
Jeremy Shockey.
Jeremy Shockey. And so we're sitting there going, Sean went for it on 4th and goal 4 times and ran the ball off tackle every single time. And so we're going, why don't he just run a slant to Shockey? So after the game, of course, we'd had a few cocktails, and Sean comes in to talk to us, and the first thing out of our mouth was, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? That kind of thing. So fast forward the same year at the Super Bowl against Peyton Manning and the Colts, we're in the suite, and they have the exact same scenario, and he runs the slant to Shockey. And so we're all up there high-fiving, going, he ran the slant.
I love it. So that's fantastic. And hey, you guys can take credit for that forever. Yeah. And you should. You should get credit for it. Tell me what you're doing with Brett Favre and Nick Saban, because I think this is going to be unbelievable. You're hosting a town hall, so you get to be on my side of the microphone and have a little conversation with these guys.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I've known Brett. Brett's come to a couple of shows, and real good friends with him. And about 10 years ago, I did a song called Boys of Fall, and did a film for ESPN off of that. And that's where I met Nick Saban. And, one night I played in Tuscaloosa, and Nick and his wife Terry had us over at their house for dinner. And it's really strange, because Nick's a lot like Belichick. You see these personas on TV, and you see how they present themselves with the media. And then you get them away from that, and they're charismatic and funny and really great people. So I've become really good friends with Nick over the years, because he knows how much I love football, and I know how much he and his family love music.
So I would love to try to get you convert from being a Tennessee Vol fan to be a Florida State fan. You got a little history of Florida State. You got to practice with the team. You suited up.
Well, I played. This was several years ago, and I played at the the Leon Civic Center in Tallahassee. And we got there early in the day, and I was telling my road manager, David Farmer, I said, man, I would love to meet Bobby Bowden. He was still coaching at the time. I said, I guarantee it, he's right down the street. I want to go say hi to him. And so we called over there and asked if I could go just come and say hi. And about 15 minutes later, we got a phone call saying, yeah, come on over. And we went over to the stadium, went up the elevator to Bobby's office, and I was scared to death because I loved Bobby Bowden. My grandfather loved Bobby Bowden. And we walked in his office, and we sat down on the sofas, and we just sat there and looked at the stadium through his office, and just all of a sudden we're in Bobby Bowden's office, and he treated us like we were his grandkids. You know, he was such a wonderful guy, and he asked us about our family, and I mean, it was just one of the greatest guys I've ever met. And I told him, he goes, anything you need from us, you know, we'll be there for you. And I said, I actually want to break Winky's record for being the oldest freshman at Florida State. I want to come and play, you know, spring practice. And, you know, I was kidding, but kind of serious. 3 weeks later, I got a call from his assistant saying, Bobby says, if you want to come to spring practice, you can come. And okay, I'll be there. And like I went to all the meetings with the receivers. There was Jimbo Fisher was still on the staff, I think, at the time, and I went to all the receiver meetings, and my guy with me was his name was PK Sam, and yep. So I was right. I did everything PK did. He goes, you just follow me, and so. I told Coach Bowden, though, I said I want to play. I want to get in a play. And so I was there the whole week, and they did their spring football game, and or not their spring football game, but they did like the at the end of the week they did a real scrimmage.
Scrimmage, yeah.
I said I want to play in one play of the scrimmage, and they said no. I said I want to play in one play of the scrimmage, and so. Finally, the last thing he goes, we're going to put you in, and I got in the huddle, and it was a wide receiver reverse, right? So that's what they were going to let me do. I was going to come around, and they were going to do, you know, give me the ball. And Coach Bowden was over there he rode around in a golf cart.
Yep.
And he had this bullhorn, right? And all of a sudden, as I'm going into the huddle, you hear on that bullhorn all across the field, "Don't hit Chesney."
He was smart. He knew if you would have gotten hurt, that would have not been good publicity.
No, that's my favorite memories ever. You know, it was unbelievable.
I love it. And much like you, what I heard about you, he's even better in person. And he treats the janitor the same way he would treat a superstar like yourself. I know you got to run. I could do hours just shooting the breeze with you, but I really appreciate the time, Kenny. Thanks so much, and best of luck to you, okay?
All right, Danny, you too, pal. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. That was Kenny Chesney, music legend, music superstar. His No Shoes radio channel on SiriusXM will be offering special Super Bowl 55 programming with Chesney voicing the content. The No Shoes special will include DJ sessions from Chesney's good friends, Peyton and Eli Manning, Brett Favre, and Aaron Andrews, who, oh, by the way, we're going to talk to later in the show, who have all been part of No Shoes Radio's recent Poets and Pirates DJ sessions. We are off to a fantastic start here on the Super Bowl Drive on Super Bowl 55 Radio, but we are just getting started. Monster show. We're going to talk to Gene Sterritt.